You won't hear directly that Universal is getting desperate for new ideas for monster movies, but there will be subtle hints, like they'll make an entire 2-hour film out of a single chapter from Dracula.
Which means that we will never leave it.
The devil is real. May God have mercy on us all.
Okay, so weird choice for sure, but hear me out. Not necessarily a bad idea. It's a ship in the 19th century, weeks from any harbour or sea of port, and they realise they've got a vampire on board. What can you do? It is, and it feels a little bit ripped from something like Alien, because it's essentially like saying they're in space. There is nothing they can do. They are trapped on this ship. There's nowhere they can go. There's no one they can contact. They are just fucked. But it's creepy as hell! The Last Voyage of the Demeter is about the ship that Dracula travelled on in the original novel from Transylvania to England, and anyone who read the book or sees the opening 5 minutes of the film will know that the ship arrives in England with all the crew dead. Anyway, let's spend a whole half hour at the start getting to know the crew, including Davos Seaworth literally playing a ship captain. Pretty good typecasting, but yeah. And Corey Hawkins is a doctor/Oxford guy who just wants to get back to England, and there's also a child and a dog. Oh man, it's gonna be rough. When they think they found something terrifying and it's actually just a woman, and then they still want to throw her overboard because having a woman on board is bad luck. Love that. It gives us a nice reminder that sailors were the original incels. Dudes were so scared of women that they wanted to go to a place filled with men where women could not get within miles of them. There's a reason they've been voluntarily calling themselves seamen for centuries. Anyway, things start going wrong on the ship, crew members start disappearing, getting brutally murdered, one even turns into a thrall, all at the behest of Count Dracula. But he looks a lot more like Nosferatu than Dracula in this. Dude looks like Slenderman Gollum, or one of the creatures from The Descent, yeah. Anyway, the terror of him appearing in some of those early scenes on deck, just at night, by the way. Gripping terror, like really good. It was really well done. And I've got to give this credit because the plot goes in the kind of vague direction you expect it to, but there are more twists and turns and unpredictable moments than you would think possible for a film that should be as run-of-the-mill as they come. The focus on the creature itself is very much on a kind of evil creature rather than any of the allure of Count Dracula or even the vaguely human tendencies of a Nosferatu. Like, it is just this terrifying beast with these abilities and they are trapped on board with it, which is very much a better style to use for this kind of film. And I mean, what a great idea it is. Honestly, you can say what you want about, oh god, they're just making a whole film out of just a single chapter of Dracula. I just said that. But, like, it is actually a really fascinating idea. An old 19th century ship. How many horror films do you get set on a location like this that's just so... both so realistic and yet so... ethereal and otherworldly. It feels such a unique vibe, even though the fear factor of it is coming from a familiar place to what, like, Alien would give you. Overall, this was a nice surprise, and I feel like those are pretty rare these days. It's a 2-hour horror film where the entire plot feels like a foregone conclusion. My expectations weren't aggressively low, but they weren't high either. But it's a solid Voyage film, a really good horror film, actually, and it's a lesser part of a Universal myth told very well, with a cast that none of them are particularly big stars, but maybe some of them should be more so. It's not a film that is going to blow you away necessarily, but it's worth checking out for sure. I love a lot of the elements of this, and I think it's done well across the board. So I'm giving Dracula Drinking Semen 3.5 stars. People really thought Dracula had it going on in this film. Just proves that anything evil people will find they'll get horny over. Like, sorry, anything evil people will get horny over for. Except Elon Musk. Yeah, no, goes without saying.